Yeah.
Now, coming to that part, Darius, you've written 7 books, and anybody that I have recommended your books to, they sort of fall down and say this is one of the easiest books that I've understood and I've picked up, and I've finished this in like a week's time. You're going to write your 8th book, and I think by the time this goes out, your book will still not be out. It's going to take probably another year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I want to learn. I really want to be there. Maybe whenever you do the launch. I am getting my Schengen visa, so I'm probably going to be there at the book launch. Like that'll be my aim. But I really want to understand,
Nice.
Darius, the journey. Some people say, "Oh, I'm going to take, write a book, stop it." You've written 7. You're onto your 8th one, and this is the one that you are working with. You're not self-publishing it from the get-go,
Yeah.
right? After 7 books, right? That's a long journey. What keeps you going? And, we'll wrap it up with that. If you can just give a little bit of highlights on what the book is going to be about, so we can get our listeners sort of excited about it. And then we'll just close this in. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that this is also something that I've been thinking about for a long time in terms of your question about what keeps you going, etc. So for my upcoming book, I'm working with Penguin Portfolio, which was for me a very positive thing to happen because they've published many of my favorite books as well, from Robert Greene and Seth Godin and many others, and working with editors, and the reason that I wanted to work with a team is that I self-published my other books, and now I want to get to the next level, reach more people across the globe. And obviously I have worked with Penguin in India and Southeast Asia for distributing my books, and I realized that's also, by the way, an amazing team who've been very supportive with distributing the books and making sure they're widely available. And that's one of the reasons, obviously, that they've been picked up so well there. And I saw that power, right, of working with a team and making sure that distribution is well. But mostly, the most important thing is that at some point in your life, when you are doing something, in the beginning, everybody's still searching. Right? Very, very few people from a young age know what to do. Like if you have 1,000 people, maybe 1 or 2 will stand up and say, "Yeah, I want to cure cancer, or I want to, fly people to Mars or whatever." Stuff like that, very specific.
Yeah.
Most people don't know what to do, so you're always searching. And when you're always used to a life of searching, a lot of people get stuck in that mode of always searching, never knowing. So what's really important is that one day you sit down and you look at yourself and decide who you are. And what you are dedicating your life to.
Yeah.
And I did that, and I said, I am a writer, right? I'm not a public speaker. I'm not a podcaster, not a YouTuber, not a consultant, even not a coach. Well, I obviously do that indirectly through my books, but
yeah,
I'm not any of those things. I'm a writer, and this is what I do. I write books, and I share the things that I've learned, and my only goal is to educate and inspire others. And this is what I do. And if this is what I do, I want to do it right, and I want to do it at the highest level.
Yeah.
And then you look at what it takes to do that well. And this is how I basically have been operating.
Correct.
I would say for the past 2 years almost, right? And before that, it was still searching. So if you look at, okay, 7 years into this, first 5 years, building, growing, and then initially not doing it, and then starting to do well, start to work yourself into a good position, you feel better, you start earning better, you get in a position where you can get to choose, and then it's time to make that decision, and then obviously not necessarily for the rest of your life, but at least for the foreseeable future, where you say, okay, this is what I do. And since I made that choice, everything else has been very simple for me, because I just, like, okay, do I want to go and publish stuff every day on social media or Twitter or Instagram or whatever? Okay, maybe that sounds nice and maybe some people will like it, but that's not who I am.
Correct.
Right? So you get to judge activities and look at options and the things in your life by who you are, right? So it narrows things down once again and makes your life very simple. And then also you stop looking at others.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So because you say, I'm a writer, this is what I am, this is what I like, this is my life, and I'm dedicated to this. And then you stop thinking to yourself, oh, what if I was, like a Warren Buffett, or what if I had my own hedge fund, or what if I had my own, what if I would be what if I would be on TV, or I don't know, whatever, all kinds of other things people would like to do, or had like a chain of restaurants, or would be an artist and just paint all day, or like a professional athlete. So you start looking at all of the other options that there are in the world, and then you just focus on who you are. And then I think when you achieve that level, things will get a lot simpler for you, because then it's like you just stop caring about most things. And this was funny, because I talked to Darius Foroux like 2 years ago or something, and this was still when I was like figuring this stuff out. And I asked him, I was like, yeah, man, what are things that that you care about? Or I can't remember exactly what the question was, but we got to this whole topic of saying that, well, there are actually very few things in the world that I really care about. And that's a very, very small list, and the rest I just like I don't really have an opinion about. And I think that's a good way to live when it comes to career stuff, and the way that you operate in your life. Obviously, it doesn't mean that we become like robots who don't care about other people, or care about family, or care about our customers or readers. That's not what it means. It means like you don't get swayed by other interesting and flashy things in life. So it doesn't really change your thoughts. You will remain centered around the thing that you value, and that just makes everything a lot simpler. So the question about figuring this stuff out and pursuing my book deal, etc., all comes from that realization. Because if I was still searching, if I still didn't know and was still experimenting, I would still try out a lot of different things. So what if I maybe do start doing some more YouTube videos, or what if, right? So then you will never narrow down on something and then say, okay, I'm going to pick this and I want to be the best in the world at this.
Makes sense. Well, this has been such a delight. Thank you so much, Darius, for joining me and taking out your time. I know while you're writing a book, I don't know how much focus that you put yourself into, but as much as I know, I think you accommodating this in your calendar itself is super appreciative.